Chapter 2. Secrets Unearthed. Eleanor's heart hammered against her ribs, her breath caught in her throat as she stood in the suffocating darkness. The house seemed alive, pulsating with an energy that crawled beneath her skin, worming its way into the darkest recesses of her mind. The melody that had lured her up the hill now resonated through the very bones of the house, the haunting strains echoing through the narrow halls and empty rooms. But Eleanor, driven by an insatiable curiosity, refused to cower in fear. She fumbled in her pocket for a box of matches, striking one against the rough stone wall. The feeble flame flickered, casting eerie shadows that danced and writhed upon the cobweb-strewn walls. She plucked a dusty candelabra from a nearby table, the light from the candles revealing the decaying beauty of her surroundings. As she began to explore, Eleanor found herself drawn to the massive staircase that wound its way up to the second floor, each step groaning under her weight as if in protest, warning her of the dangers that lay ahead. She paused at an ornate door, its once gilded handle tarnished with age. An inexplicable feeling of dread washed over her, but she steeled herself and stepped inside. The room was a library, its shelves laden with volumes of forgotten lore, their pages yellowed and brittle. Eleanor ran her fingers over the dusty spines, names and titles long since obscured by the passage of time. She pulled a random book from the shelf and blew away the dust, the title now visible in the flickering candlelight, The History of Ravensridge. She carefully turned the fragile pages, feeling the weight of the ancient words as they leapt from the parchment and into her consciousness. Eleanor was soon lost in the cryptic tales that unfolded before her, each story more macabre than the last. She read of the founding of Ravensridge, a village born from the ashes of a great fire, and of the families who had ruled over the land with an iron fist, feuding and scheming in their quest for power. And then she discovered the story of the house, a tale of darkness, betrayal, and a curse that had claimed the lives of so many. The truth began to unravel before her eyes as the dark history of Fester Hill took shape. A once mighty family, seeking to establish their dominance over the region, had built the house as a monument to their power. But in their arrogance, they had disturbed an ancient force, a malevolent energy that had slumbered beneath the hill for centuries. Enraged by their intrusion, the force had cursed the family, damning them to an eternity of suffering within the walls of their home, a fate they would share with any who dared to enter. As the night wore on, the secrets of the house on Fester Hill continued to reveal themselves to Eleanor. She learned of the many souls who had been claimed by the curse, their spirits now trapped within the stones of the house, reliving their final moments in an endless loop of torment. Despite the weight of the morbid knowledge she now carried, Eleanor resolved to break the curse, to free the spirits, and to put an end to the legacy of suffering that had plagued the people of Ravensridge for so long. But she was not alone in her quest. Unbeknownst to her, the darkness that dwelled within the house had taken notice of her presence, and it would not let her succeed without a fight. As Eleanor delved deeper into the history of the curse, the shadows around her began to stir, the ghosts of the past awakened by her determination. And as the night wore on, the true battle for the fate of Ravensridge would begin.